Knicks family, what is poppin', man? Well, we had the chance, ladies and gentlemen, to go 500 if we were to beat the Orlando Magic tonight, but we did not. We blew that chance. We lost to the Orlando Magic tonight. The Knicks, they can't find a way to get over the hump when they need to get over the hump. They came out to an 11-point lead, 12-point lead, whatever it was, a double-digit lead, but they couldn't keep it. They let the Orlando Magic come back. The Knicks led by 3 at half, but then the third quarter was a disaster. The Orlando Magic just kept coming, and all of a sudden the Knicks couldn't shoot. They couldn't score, and the defense looked shoddy. Orlando took a 7-point lead, an 8-point lead. The next thing you know, by the time we get to the fourth quarter, the Magic built up a 17-point lead, and the Knicks could not find a way to get back into the game. They could not hit a shot in that second half. It was terrible to watch, excruciating to watch, ladies and gentlemen. And they were killed by the guy that I've been cheering for, rooting for, begging and pleading Leon Rose to go get. Terrence Ross. He had 30 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. I'm telling you, put him on the next thing smoking to Madison Square Garden. I'm telling you right now, he is that wing player that we need, and he comes at a very good price. I like Zach LaVine. I like Bradley Beal, but they're probably not coming. They're probably not available. This guy, the possibility of him being available is there. I say go get him. I think if you add Terrence Ross to this team, man, you're doing something. Again, 30 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists as he auditioned for Tom Thibodeau. I'm going to stick to it. He auditioned for Tom Thibodeau tonight. Evan Fournier, 19 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Nikolai Vucevic, the guy we were scared of, 16 points, 16 rebounds, 5 assists. He didn't kill us. Gary Clark had 9 points, 5 rebounds. Dwayne Bacon had 15 points. Dwayne Bacon was killing us from 3. Even Michael Carter Jr. scored 6 points. We let them score 107 points. We only scored 89 points, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm disgusted at this game, though. Yeah, I'm disgusted. There's a lot to talk about, but I'm disgusted. Disgusted at this game. The Knicks were led by Julius Randle with 25 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists. The next leading scorer was R.J. Barrett with 15 points, and then Elfrid Payton with 13 points. Nobody else could do anything else. Manuel quickly had 9 points, but he was 1 for 12 from the field. Alec Burks had 8 points. Derrick Rose had 4 points. Taj Gibson had 2 points. Nerlens Noel had 6 points and 9 rebounds. That second half was ugly, real ugly, ladies and gentlemen, as the Knicks had their 3-game winning streak snapped. And now we'll see if we can restart it against Minnesota. But you know, you had a chance to be 500. Put yourself back in a hole, you know what I mean? Anyway, let's go ahead and let's break down this basketball game. I know some people feeling a little bit frustrated. I'm feeling frustrated because I thought we could have gotten this win. This was a team that we should have been able to beat, and there we go. We lost to the Orlando Magic, you know. And I'm going to say it one more time. You see Julius Randle in this picture? He's pointing at Terrence Ross. Go get him. That's all I'm saying. Go get him. Anyway, let's get back to the group here. You can see the box score up on the screen. Tony Crow, man, what's poppin' with you, brother?
Going on, man. And they got me in pain. You know, my tooth hurting. And they lost, and it's just making it worse. Worst second half of the season by far. right?
Yep.
Or worst half of the season, first or second. But it was horrible, man. We couldn't buy a basket. I blamed you. You've been giving Ross the ego boost for the past 3 weeks. I know somebody done sent him a clip.
Yeah, probably.
of you asking for him.
You know,
and he put on a performance, like audition, like you said.
right.
So, job well done to him.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just ready to move on to the next one, I guess, man. What else can we do? They're gonna have a bunch of what do you call them, pyramids from Tom Thibodeau. Pyramids for the next 2 days.
No doubt. If I'm Tom Thibodeau, I'm busting their ass when I get in practice. I'm hot. I'm busting their ass. I mean, we got a break. Listen, we got a little bit of a break, right? I'm getting them in practice tomorrow, and I'm busting their ass. And then, we can go a little bit easier the rest of the couple of days we got off. But tomorrow, they're leaving practice sore as they're gonna all need ice baths after tomorrow. I'm busting that ass. That's what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
But Sam, they thought they was gonna have family time tomorrow. Nope.
Hell no. Nope.
But Sam, is it in their contract to have bodily harm to them?
Hey, I guess we gotta breach that contract tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? And Bam you, he said Terrence Ross ain't the savior. Who said he's the savior? I didn't say he's the savior, my friend. I said he's a piece, bro. Like, why would I think that he's the savior? Come on, Bam you. It's bad take, bro. Not saying he's the savior.
Sound like a Magic fan that don't want him to leave.
Yeah, come on, man. Divine, talk to me, man. What we see tonight? What do we see out here tonight?
I'm the most optimistic person on this board. You know that. But you know what tonight, man? I don't even care so much about the laws, it was the selfishness that team played with in that second unit tonight. We've been watching the Knicks all year long. Them cats was getting the ball and shooting themselves. The whole third quarter was like that. I'm like, your cats just getting the ball, jocking them shots. You're not passing the ball around the perimeter, looking for the open shots. Quickly, Burks, all of them get, and Derrick Rose, all of them get it tonight, bro. Because you know what? When you read the box score, you'll see what I'm talking about. Look at our assists and look at the second unit scoring. Them cats was getting the ball, coming across half court and shooting their own shot. I'm like, that ain't the way we play basketball, so I'm disappointed with that and a 3-point field goal percentage. Other than that, and I just thought that, this wasn't a game where the second unit should have played the first unit, Dan should have played the whole game.
Yeah.
You normally, other than Julius Randle, I understand, because sometimes you run them long minutes anyway, but Alpha Payton and RJ Barrett was doing their thing.
They was doing their thing.
Quickly should have been out. Yeah, man, Quickly should have been out. Obi should have been out. D Rose should have went out. They wasn't playing. That's my only thing tonight, man. It was just selfishness tonight, man. I just didn't see that all year long.
Yeah.
That was just kind of disappointing for me.
Yeah.
And that's not like Tom Thibodeau either.
Right.
I'm with you. And Derrick Rose can't run too much, so I'm making his ass do push-ups. All right, you can't use your knees. I'm making you use your arms. Freak it. You know what I'm saying? Kev, go ahead, Kev.
Bench points. Knicks 26, Orlando 42.
That's what I'm saying. They were shooting.
That's all you need to know. And Terrence Ross got 30 tonight off us. That's it. The player who I thought was going to kill us was half of what Ross was tonight.
With our whole bench by itself.
Well, that's
he outscored.
Yeah, that's Orlando's. That's why they have Ross off the bench, because you have a starter coming off the bench that's gonna abuse second units.
Yeah, and I'm just really right now disgusted with our small forward tangent of Bullock and Burks. I don't know what it is. The problem with Burks,
want me to tell you what it is? I can tell you what it is.
Yeah, go ahead.
They're not Terrence Ross.
You on this Terrence Ross thing,
I'm saying,
man.
if you have Terrence
You
Ross,
on this
you know,
Terrence
you
Ross.
go ahead and put
love.
RJ at the 3. You got Terrence Ross. You have Reggie Bullock come off the bench, and Burks is probably out of here, something like that. I'm telling you. Or Reggie Bullock continues to start, and Terrence Ross comes off the bench. Either way. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, here's the thing. That person that was in the chat that said he's not the savior. No, he's not the savior in Ross, but he's a nice piece to have, and he would fit in perfectly, with us. And yeah, man. And we let some no name, these guys that I haven't even heard of, we let them get off tonight, and you can't do that. You can't do that. Yeah. A good an aspiration team that expects to go far in the playoffs does not let a loss like this happen.
I mean, I hear. I mean, you're right. Tonight was one of those nights where the Knicks
am I wrong?
I mean, no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. And, you're going to have more nights like this because they got to learn how to win in these type of situations. And when a team, like, for example, all this media, Julius Randle dropped 44. I'm doing videos, talk about, is he a franchise player? All of this. And the Orlando Magic, they see this stuff. They're like, oh, he ain't doing that against us. And they're on a 3-game win streak. They've won 5 of the last 7. You know what? We got Evan Fournier back. We're going to try to put a stop to this. So, like, you're playing against NBA teams, and you got to learn how to win in those situations. And
the thing about it also, Sam, is just real quick, Josh. Teams that I've seen that have beat us, they were nowhere near as the way Orlando is. Orlando was a beatable team. Orlando was we should have beat them handedly. This wasn't Charlotte or this wasn't Charlotte, this wasn't Toronto. It was none of these guys. We should have beat them. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Josh?
So first of all, salute the chat, salute the panel. Hope everybody out there is doing well. I'm gonna take this opportunity to put the punching bag on, because I'm gonna steer this into a different direction. First of all, to me, I felt like no matter who Tibbs would have put out there, we still would have lost the game, particularly because of our effort. The Orlando Magic wanted this game more than we wanted it tonight. We were not rotating fast enough. We just played lackadaisical. It didn't seem like. It seemed like no matter who Tibbs put out there, I think when the starters were out there, people were saying in the group chat, oh, we need to put in Rose and we need to put in Quickly. Then when Quickly and them get out there, oh, well, how come we took Peyton and RJ out the game? It's just like every time the Knicks lose a game, we want to start questioning rotations. Tonight had nothing to do with rotations. It was just they wanted it more than us. And they flat out just beat us, hands down. I think that's where we need to look. It's not Thibodeau and his rotations. I get it. RJ was playing well. Alfred Payton was playing well. But regardless, we still would have lost that game because they flat out just wanted it more than us. And I think this is something that the Knicks can definitely recover from. The Knicks don't need to do anything different as far as schematically. They just need to go out and play harder the next game. That's it. They let this team down. They let them off the hook. That's what happened.
I mean, I agree that Orlando was playing better basketball in the second half, right? In the second half they did. But it's the fourth quarter. It's an 11-point game with about 5 minutes left. Alec Burks is not playing well. Emmanuel Quickly is 1 for whatever. While Alfred Payton and RJ Barrett are both playing well and scoring well. Why do you not give yourself a chance by putting those guys back in the game? Right? Alfred Payton is a good defender. He might not be able to hit threes, but he was going to the rack and scoring at the basket today. He also had 5 assists. Why did he have 5 assists? Because he was scoring at the basket. It was drawing the defense, and he was able to kick it out to who? RJ Barrett. Reggie Bullock. Well, Reggie Bullock only took 2 shots. Right? RJ, I mean, tonight I feel like he's stuck with those guys. I'm going to be honest with you. There was a point, it was in the third quarter, maybe the top of the fourth quarter, and he was putting the bench in, and I even said, don't put Obi out there. I said that. I was like, because not because I don't like Obi, but I'm afraid of what's gonna happen defensively, and I just wanted to stick with Julius Randle because the bench just wasn't playing. They were playing terribly. You know, there was no movement, no ball movement. As a matter of fact, when we did the halftime report with Die Hard, we talked about how in the first half the bench was chucking. You know what I'm saying? Not a lot of ball movement, a lot of one-on-one play. And they did the same thing in the second half. You know, I thought even though the first unit didn't play great, they didn't play great. But Elfrid Payton and RJ Barrett were playing well, and I think they would have gave you a chance. So you're down 11 with 5 minutes left. I feel like they would have gave you a better chance to pull that game out. I mean, because RJ Barrett was playing well. He was rebounding well.
I totally disagree.
Because look, I mean, you look down in that fourth quarter, RJ Barrett barely played in the fourth quarter. He had 7 rebounds, right? They were getting second chance points after second chance points. Right, exactly. They were getting second chance points after second chance points, right? Because we had these small lineups in that couldn't get rebounds. RJ Barrett could rebound the basketball. You know, I mean, I just feel like we waited way too long. 3 minutes left is when RJ got back in. 3 minutes, and then you brought Elfrid Payton back in with 2 minutes or whatever. Why? Why even bring him back in then? I feel like if you was gonna bring him back in, when they were down 11 with 5 minutes, they had a chance. They had a chance, and then we had turnovers by Burks.
I don't think they had a chance, then.
No, we had a chance.
Okay, let me just respond to that. Let me just respond to that. The reason why I don't think we had a chance because the formula for the Knicks' success over these past 4 games has been, and they put that bench in, and that bench gives them a spark. I understand that they were cold, but the reason why Tibbs goes to that lineup, particularly at the end of games, is because he depends on them to get them shots and to get those buckets. Now, tonight they didn't get that. I understand that. But we can't just come out and say, oh, Tibbs is doing bad rotations when he literally has been doing this the same.
I know, but what I'm saying is
saying that the starters should have been closing. That's all it is. Right. They should have closed. They were terrible tonight. The bench was terrible, man.
But he's never done that this entire season.
But Josh,
the entire starters in the game.
No, but Josh, the whole thing that Thibodeau says is, I'm gonna play who the hot hand is. Who's playing well is who's gonna play the game. That's what Thibodeau says out of his mouth. If you're playing well, you're gonna play the game. Well, quickly, Derrick Rose, Burks, they weren't playing it well. So
they
put the guys in that's playing well.
Yeah,
even if you're gonna lose.
I think as a team we didn't play well.
So RJ didn't play well.
Those guys are more than stars. I don't think it was that big of a. I don't think it was that like he could have spurred us to a victory. RJ Barrett's not bringing us back in this game by himself.
He didn't have a chance to.
I'm not saying
right. That's you can't say that, John. That's incorrect, bro. That's incorrect.
Go ahead, Tony.
I'm not saying you can't say it. I'm sorry. I just think that I don't think that's the case. Let me rephrase that. I apologize for that.
Wait, sir, can I say something?
Hey, I was just gonna say that in times like this, you said that our team, they was hungrier than us. Those are the perfect opportunities to give some of the guys that aren't in the rotation, who are hungry right now because they're not playing, an opportunity as well. So I've been the guy that defended Tibbs as far as saying, hey, if the guy's not playing well, he pulls him. He's proven it. He's done it with RJ. He's done it with Rivers, who was in the rotation and then got kicked out. He did it with Knox, who was playing well early, then got kicked out. So my thing is, do it. This is a game that I feel like he dropped the ball because he relied on Quickly when Quickly wasn't playing well all game. You said he didn't make a shot when he got RJ in the game. He was 0 for 10 at that point. And then he made his first shot, which was the dunk, and then he missed his last shot. So, yeah, take him out early if he's not playing well. Do the same thing that you've been doing with everybody else. Today, he didn't do that. And I've been giving Tibbs credit for that very thing. So I got to call him out when he doesn't do it.
Yeah. I mean, there's no reason why a coach can't get killed or anything. He just dropped the ball on this one. That's all.
We lost by 20 points. The entire team didn't play well. As a unit, we were lackadaisical.
I get that. We understand that. But the whole thing is, it's 11-point lead with 5 minutes, almost 6 minutes left. And you got two players who were playing well throughout the game. They've been playing well and playing well defensively, right? The Knicks were down 7 points when RJ and Elfrid Payton went out. They were playing well, and you don't put them back in. That's what I don't get. I'm not saying that they were going to make you win the game, but I think you would have given yourself a better chance to win the game. I mean, RJ was 5 for 11 from the field. Verse Quickly was 1 for 12. Derrick Rose was 1 for 10. Elfrid Payton was 6 for 11. These guys were at least making buckets.
Right.
At least they give you a chance. Maybe you still lose, right? But at least you give yourself a chance. I don't even think you gave yourself a chance because the guys that they had in the game weren't scoring. Alec Burks was 3 for 9. Turn the ball over.
3 for 9.
Lost that game. The second unit lost that game today, bro. That's all it is.
And two of those threes were late in the game.
Right. It didn't matter. It didn't even matter.
Yeah. Go ahead, Isaiah. You got a lot of air in the background, man, but go ahead.
I'm just driving back home. No, I can't. I definitely disagree with Josh because, again, right, can you really trust a coach that doesn't make adjustments during the game? Like, I understand you have a game plan, but game plan changes during the course of the game. That's where you make your adjustments. Again, right, like, Sim just said, if you got RJ Barrett shooting 5 for 11 versus a guy that's shooting 1 for 12, I mean, that's common sense of who you keep in. You don't keep in the dude that's shooting 1 for 12. So, adjustments are definitely on that. Second unit didn't play. They play like crap, which, again, right, it happens to second unit sometimes. But Sim, to be honest with you, man, look, right, I think one thing Knicks fans have to do, and we have to, how can I say this? We got to relax about who we think the Knicks are versus what they actually are. I think we get overhyped about. I think we get overhyped. We're below 500 team, so we're gonna play.
Yeah, but we're low 500 by just 2, not by 5 or 6. It's only by 2 games. And we can make those 2 games up.
Miami's below 500.
Oh yeah, bro. First of all, okay, I get what you're saying that, yeah, but they're still below 500. So what does that mean? We're playing inconsistent. We're playing teams that we're not doing good. People like to say, well, like, we're this and this. Bro, like Bill Parcells always have said, you are what your record says you are. So I get that Knicks fans get hyped
and our
when we
record
win.
says that we're a playoff team right now.
Exactly.
Okay, Sim, yeah, see, you're not listening. I get right now we're in the
Our record, you just said our record says we are who our record says we are. And our record, if you go to NBA.com right now, our record says that we're a playoff team in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, but there are a whole bunch of teams that are under 500 that's still in the
Miami's
playoffs.
below 500. They went to the finals last year, bro. They went to the finals.
Bro, the team has a chance, man. I don't think we have to relax. The team has a chance. This is a game that they could have won. They dropped one. Now we see if they're going to respond.
Hey, Isaiah, as bad as this loss was, this is not one of the games that we say, oh, we ain't never going to win again.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
No, but you're not understanding what I'm saying. You're really not, because
I know.
Again, this whole season, Sim, I get that we're a playoff team. I wholeheartedly understand that. But again, you're not saying what I'm saying. I'm saying that we're below 500. So we have lost more than we won. We've been playing inconsistent. But y'all just listen. We win 3 games. We're on top of the moon. We love the Knicks. We're going to do this. But then when we lose, then it's like, well, what's going on, bro?
We're not talking about what's going on. We're not saying what's going on. We're not acting like the team is being blown up. We're talking about what happened during the midst of the game. You're going to lose basketball games, bro. We understand that.
NBA, we're going to lose 20, 10, 15 more. I mean, Isaiah, that don't even make no sense, bro, because everybody losing the NBA. No matter, you can have a bad night, but that don't mean because we lost bad night that we're not the team who we think we are, because I disagree with that. We watched all 18 games. The Knicks got a good team. They just had a bad night on their second unit. Everybody had bad nights, man.
We would have been 500, right?
Yeah, well, everybody had bad nights.
I mean,
we have a good team.
Bro, nobody, did anybody, you're breaking up. You're breaking up. But nobody said we're a championship team.
Not by a long shot.
So it's not like all the fans are like, oh my God, we about to win a championship, da-da-da-da-da. when we sit and we argue and say they could make the 4th seed, legitimately, they could make the 4th seed. They're a game and a half out. They can make the 5th seed. They're a game out from that. I mean, the talk is legitimate. I don't think anyone is making it up. The talk is legitimate, but I think we have the right to be upset at the Knicks losing tonight because they had a chance, you know, and while they do have a home streak going on, you know, they got a home stand coming up. They play Minnesota. Let's assume they beat Minnesota. Golden State's going to be a tougher game. You know what I'm saying? So instead of going to, you know, instead of going to 500 tonight and then beating Minnesota, being one game above 500, and then you play Golden State where it's possible you could lose, you know, now, you know, you go down, you know, you're 2 games below 500 and you got to fight back again. You know what I mean? They can't get over that hump. They got to be able to get over that hump. I don't know what it is. You know, they got to get over that hump. They haven't been able to put together more than 3 wins in a row so far this season. Caller, you live. What's popping?
How's it going, fellas?
It's good, man.
I was watching this game, and sometime around the 3rd quarter, I knew what was going to happen. Even when they made that little run in the 4th quarter and they got it to within, I think Alex Burks hit 2 threes in a row. I was thinking this is right out of the 90s. Like, even when they had like 55 win teams, they would throw up games like this all the time on the road. They would underperform, and it's just, this is part of being a Knicks fan. You know, it's going to happen. They got 5 home games coming up. They go 4-1, they're at 500. You know, if they go 3-2, they're 1 game under 500. You know, halfway through the season. And a couple of weeks ago, I called in and we said if they were 33-39 at the end of the season, we'd consider that a success. I'm just happy that they're hovering around that 500 mark. I want to get them over that 500 mark.
Exactly.
We got to get it over that 500 mark.
Exactly. And listen, they blowing. We were talking about it in the game preview. They blew a golden opportunity to be in the 4th seed. Atlanta is about to lose. Boston's about to lose to Atlanta, and Minnesota has a 5-point lead over Indiana with 8 minutes left. There's still a lot of time left in that game.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's rough. I mean, I wanted them at 500, and then you know, like you just said, you know, that would have put them in a position now where they don't have to win 2 in a row just to be 500. They could have been 1 game over 500 once they smashed the Timberwolves on Sunday. Yeah. But hey, it is what it is, and you know, I think as Ross was going off, I was thinking about what you were saying. I mean, that duo between Bullock and Burks. You know, if one of them's playing well, it's okay, but we need more production out of that 3 slot.
Yeah,
that's the weak link of the team. I mean, even, you know, a couple weeks ago we were saying Peyton was the weak link. I think the 3 slot is the weak link. You know, if Burks does what he was supposed to do when we signed him, it's a totally different offense.
Yeah. I mean, exactly. And he hasn't done what, you know, we all thought maybe he was going to be able to come in and give you 15 points a game, and he hasn't done that. He hasn't done it at all. And we do need production, offensive production out of that 3 spot. We're not getting it at all, and we need offensive production. That's why I'm going to keep up the campaign, man. Listen, I mean, look.
What do you think it would cost?
That's a good question. That's a very good question. It depends. I think it's going to depend on what Orlando, how they look at their season. If they think that they can still make the playoffs, which the past few years they've been around that 8th seed, they think they can still make the playoffs, then they might not want to give them up, right? Because right now Orlando is just one game out of that 10th spot. Right. So they might be looking at that like, you know, we can still get in this thing. And they've had a lot of injuries, right? Evan Fournier is a big addition for them. You know, he's a big addition, you know, coming back for them. And then, of course, they're having guard issues. That's why Jason Randall was, you know, out there playing and stuff like that. So it would be hard. I think that the Knicks, if they really want to pry him, they'd have to call up Orlando and say, what do you want? Unless Orlando decides to have a fire sale. But they'd have to call him up and put some pressure on him, say, hey, what do you want? And then once you make that call, that kind of puts them in the driver's seat, right? Because now they know that you want him.
Yeah.
I don't know what he would cost. It'd be tough, but I think that I just feel like he obviously wouldn't cost him as much as Bradley Beal or Zach LaVine. Right? So I think his price would be good enough if Orlando was willing to move him, would be good enough so that you're not giving up the farm and you're adding a player that, as you can see, can get you 30 on any given night. You know what I'm saying? And for most nights, it's going to be a competent scorer for you. And I like him better than Fournier. We were talking on the Die Hard Knicks podcast halftime show, and they asked, would you rather have Ross or Fournier? And I chose Ross because I feel like he's a better creator than Fournier. Right? He's a shooter. He can come off screens and shoot and knock it down, but I think he's a better creator and a better defender.
Yeah, he impressed me tonight. And if I have to get rid of either Burks or Bullock, maybe a month ago, I'd say let's keep Burks. But after this last month, I'd rather keep Bullock. I think Bullock's more valuable to the team.
Yeah. I'd rather keep Bullock's because of his defense. We've seen what the Knicks defense looks like when he's not there.
Yeah. Last comment before I go, if I got to say it, not to kick at the team while they're down, but next time Obi Toppin has a 4-on-1 fast break and slows down, I'm going to lose my mind.
I seen that.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I seen that. He slowed down and brought it back out and restarted the offense.
Does it seem to you like his shoulders are constantly like shrugging? He seems he's got to loosen up out there. He seems like his shoulders are a little bit high all the time. He's a little bit. He's got to relax.
He's like top heavy, right? He's really top heavy.
Yeah.
He's got skinny legs and he's top heavy. So I don't even know. He's just kind of that's his shape, like kind of hunches over like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't know. He's kind of hunches over like that. But hey, I appreciate the call, man.
Tough loss. Thanks, fellas.
Tough loss, real tough loss. Appreciate it. Kev, it's on you, man. What's up?
Oh.
What's up?
Nothing, man. Hey, everything's everything. I'm not gonna hit the scotch like I wanted to tonight. That's not gonna happen.
I might.
Well, I mean, I had.
This game frustrated me, man. This game just frustrated me.
It did because we were there in the first quarter, and then after that, it just went downhill. From that, because we had a 12-point lead, and then that just evaporated. And
second unit came in and was a wrap.
Yeah. And all I can just say is just we got to go back to the drawing board. I mean, we're 2 games under 500, so now we just got to go back and get this win against Minnesota, and then who's after Minnesota?
Golden State.
Golden State.
Oh man.
Yeah, and we beat them. We beat them last time we played, but that's another tough matchup.
I don't think Draymond Green is gonna get thrown out this time.
Right, especially without Mitch, right? Yeah. I mean, we did a good job on Fournier. And there was another time, there was another thing. I felt like in the second half we started to try to double team Vucevic. Vucevic. And I didn't think we needed to double team him. And then they sent us scrambling and they started knocking down. Well, they were already knocking down threes, but they knocked down some open threes. And I was like, why are we double teaming him? He hasn't really killed us that way. I didn't understand why we was double teaming him when he hadn't killed us.
Hey,
one thing hold on one second, Isaiah. The one thing that I hate is when a team scores a 3, we have to try and match, match their 3. And I'd rather just go for a high percentage 2 than to try and match their 3. I mean, if you're open, then that's one thing. But trying to force a 3 because they scored a 3, I don't like that. I don't like that type of basketball.
It's situational.
Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead, Isaiah.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I'll be real with you. So I'm gonna have to disagree with you, Sim, with the Terrence Ross thing, right? So, I mean, if it's either choosing Fournier or him, I'd rather have Fournier, to be honest with you. I think
Why?
Fournier is a little more consistent. I think Fournier is a little more consistent. Terrence Ross, man, like, don't get me wrong, like he can definitely give you 30, but I think a lot of nights you're gonna get 10 points. I'd rather
10? He
have
averages
Fournier, who's at least
15.
gonna give you. Yeah, I mean, he's an inconsistent player. He just
Really?
is. I'd rather have Fournier. At least I know Fournier is gonna give me that. Fournier's been already averaging 15. You know, I like Terrence Ross, but I'd rather have Fournier personally.
You said Fournier's
he's
always.
more.
You said Fournier's been what? Always averaging 15? What'd you say?
But he gives you around 15. He has like that 15, 18. He average like around there.
Right.
Fournier. So I mean, I'd rather have that, honestly, rather than
Terrence Ross.
I'd rather having that 15.
Terrence Ross, whether he was with Toronto and now Orlando, he's always torched us. Always.
I think that Terrence Ross is the better deal. I think he's a better defender than Evan Fournier. Right? I mean, right now, if you look at what this, if you look at what they're shooting from three, Terrence Ross shoots a better percentage from three than Evan Fournier. Fournier shoots a little better percentage from the field. You know, I like Terrence Ross because I like his defense and the tenacity that he brings to the game. Where Evan Fournier, to me, is, you know, he can score the basketball, but he's going to be a shooter. You know, where I feel like Terrence Ross can do both. But Terrence Ross is a shooter too. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Terrence Ross is also a shooter, and I think he's easier to get than Evan Fournier. Now, the only difference between the two in their contracts is that, well, Evan Fournier makes more money than Terrence Ross, and he's an expiring contract as well. I don't know if that bodes well. I mean, you can get him in free agency, I guess, if you had to, you know, if he was someone that you were looking for. But I'm just not a big fan of him defensively. I think that Terrence Ross is a better defender. Go ahead, Tony.
Yeah, I definitely get it. But also, I was gonna.
No, I'll let you finish.
I'm gonna say, like, and also too with the Burks and Bullock thing. Honestly, man, I'll be real with you. Both of them could really go. I think we definitely need to
upgrade.
We never need to solidify, like, get a consistent wing defender. Also, too, man, I just say one more thing, but it's just we got to get a real third option, man. That's gonna be real killer. We can't really
right there.
We can't really, like, right now we're relying on guys that got. We're relying on a rookie, and we're relying on an older D Rose to be our third options. We can't do third options by committee, man. We hopefully next year we can definitely establish a third option guy, because it's not going to be cutting it. People are going to be more frustrated each game this season when one of the guys get cold. So
Isaiah, would you give Kevin Knox another shot?
No.
Oh, that was quick. Okay.
So here's the thing with Burks. He's a bucket, but he needs to create his own shot, meaning he needs to handle the ball a little bit. He's not real good at catch and shoot. Even in those situations, he kind of has to sidestep or put the ball on the floor before he takes a shot. And I think that's the same problem we would have with Fournier in comparison with Ross. He doesn't need the ball in his hands. He can slash, he can catch and shoot, he can create his own shot as well. So I think he's a better fit. Plus, he's a defender. So we wasn't on air, but I don't think we was on air. But when I asked about a first round pick, or let's say we go to Orlando and ask them what does it take, and they say a first protected or even that Mavs pick, then I definitely make sure that they have to include Mo Bamba in the deal. And in that aspect, I think it is a win, because you're getting a former lottery and a guy who is definitely gonna produce for you, and probably giving up a Burks and a future protected first. I just want to know what the rest of the chat thinks of that.
You say give up a Burks. Oh, say who'd you say again?
Let's say Burks and the 23 Dallas pick
For Fournier?
for Mo Bamba and Ross.
Oh yeah, I'll do that. We'll do that. And I'm not saying out of frustration. I just think it makes sense. Sense.
They'll have to cut somebody. Somebody gotta get cut.
I mean, that's not a situation. I ain't worried about who gets cut. I mean, whether it's Iggy or I like my guy Pinson, but whether it's one of those two, I think we could cut Iggy and he stays on the G League team and attempts to work his way back. I honestly think. I don't think somebody else is picking Iggy up necessarily, and they might. And if they do, kudos. But do you think they do it, and would you do it?
I like the move for Ross. I think that's a bigger need at the 3 position. As far as Bamba is concerned, where's he going to play when Mitchell Robinson gets back? You going to play him over Noel? Where are you going to play him at?
He'd be either second or third stringer if we need him. But right now we could use him, and we talking about another 6-7 games, right, until the break.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the move for Ross, but as far as Bamba's,
I like Mo Bamba. I like Mo Bamba.
Here's my thing: you would do the first pick. You might as well try to get something else out of it. If you gotta give up a first.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I would do it just for the
Otherwise, I'm talking 2 seconds for him.
Yeah, I don't think that's that bad of us for us to give up that. That's not a lot for us to give up. I would do it.
What, 2 seconds?
No, either 2 seconds or the later first round pick with Alec Burks or somebody. Right. I don't think that's bad.
Right. And if you did that, you'd have Ross for about 3 seasons. Mm-hmm. You'd have him this year, and then
it might cost more than that, though. It might cost a little bit more.
And his contract goes down, so he's like 13.5 this year, 12.5 next year, and then 11.5 the following year. I seen someone in the chat say that Evan Fournier and Terrence Ross, they're about the same defensively. That is just not true. When Evan Fournier is on the court, opponents score 120 points per game. Right, that's their offensive rating. Right, the opponent's offensive rating is 120. When Evan Fournier is off the court, the opponent's offensive rating is 110. That's a 10-point difference when he's on the court and off the court.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Call him out.
Come on now.
Call him out.
Come on now. He is not a better defender, and they're not even on par. And now when you look at Terrence Ross. Right, when he's on the court, let me get it back up so I make sure I got the right numbers. When Terrence Ross is on the court, the Orlando Magic, hold up, where'd it go? Here we go, 2021. When Terrence Ross is on the court, the opponent's offensive rating is 112.7. When he's off the court, the opponent's offensive rating is 113.7. So he shaves off at least a point when he's on the court. Right?
And that's an 8-point difference from Fournier.
Yeah, and he's playing with the second unit too, so that could be a bad reason too. Yeah, he's playing with the second unit.
So I mean, I feel like Terrence Ross would fit what we do as far as playing defense and the hustle, the speed that you like to try to play with. And then, you got a guy that can create a shot, knock down shots, and a guy that can create a shot, and create for others. I just think he's a better fit with what we try to do than Evan Fournier, on both sides of the ball. But, who knows if they would try to make a move for him or not. I think that they should, but they may not. Who knows? But, tough loss tonight for the Knicks, man. Tough loss tonight, and you can see we got like 200 and something people in here. If the Knicks would have won, we'd have been like 500, 600, 700, 800 people or something like that. The Knicks lose, people are like, man, freak these dudes. I ain't trying to go talk about the Knicks. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't want to come in either, man. But,
the interesting.
I got spread love, like you say.
ever since that, think about over the last 3 or 4 games, Quickly and Rose combined for almost 30-some points a game. Them cats didn't even have over probably 12. That's why we lost that game.
Less than that. It was less than
right. I mean, them two over the Quickly been having like 18 points a game over the last 3 or 4 games. And Rose been like 12. So I mean, that's almost 30 points that we didn't get from them cats tonight, man. And we lost by 16. That's why I said that's the reason why I said our second unit played like trash tonight. Because them two cats, they didn't do their thing tonight. That was it right there.
Yeah. Let me get to this phone call. Caller, you live. What's pop?
Yo, what's going on, Tim?
What's going on, man? How you feeling?
I ain't feeling too good right now, man. It's not only because we lost, but just for the simple fact, Tim, I've said this many of times. We go as our bench goes. Like, you know what I'm saying? And hey, listen, the bench didn't play well tonight. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I think maybe Tibbs left those guys in there just to let them know that, hey, look, I trust you guys. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you are, and I get it. Tibbs always says he's going to play the hot hand or whatever. But at the end of the day, sometimes you got to leave those guys in there to let them know that, listen, I got faith in you guys and I trust you. And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But then again, you know, we didn't, it just felt like we came with the right energy in the beginning. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then from there, everything just dropped off. Like, I feel like we walked in there thinking for sure we were going to get a dub. Like, you know what I'm saying? And those guys felt like we ain't no pushovers. I ain't just going to walk up in here and get this W. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And they took it from us. They straight up, they took it from us and we did nothing about it. Like, you know what I mean? So Tibbs got to hold these guys' feet over the fire, rake them over the coals, and let them know, like, you know what I'm saying? No matter what we do, we can't be that confident. Like, you know what I'm saying? I get it. We got a good team, and sometimes the team plays well, and sometimes we don't. But we are not one of those teams that we can just come in and expect a win. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just not going to happen because we ain't that. Like, we ain't it yet. Like, you know what I'm saying? We play well at times, but no, we are not one of those teams that we can come in and just expect to get a W.
Yeah, I agree with you there. You know what I mean? We definitely are not one of those teams, man. City, I appreciate the call, bro.
Yeah, for sure. I'll jump back down. I'll holler.
All right, peace. Man, looking at the numbers from tonight's game, the Knicks lost 107-89. Now they got out rebounded 57-53. Orlando Magic had 27 assists. The Knicks only had 16. The Magic had 10 steals. The Knicks only 7. The Magic had 7 blocks. The Knicks had 5. The Knicks turned the ball over 16 times. That was definitely a determinant of this game. They were turning the ball over in some crucial moments. Orlando only had 12 turnovers. The Knicks shot 37.9% from the field, while the Magic shot 55.7%. The Magic shot 47% from 3. The Knicks only shot 25.9% from 3. The Knicks did shoot 84% from the free throw line, but we needed more than free throws tonight.
And that was Quickly.
And that was, right. And that was Quickly who was at the free throw line a couple of times. Yeah. Just a tough game. And just an update on what's going on right now. Minnesota is leading Indiana 121-120 with 11.1 seconds left. If they end up winning this game, it keeps us right where we were, right? Because, well, Chicago, they're beating Detroit 105-102. And I think that's about it for the Eastern Conference. Well, Miami's playing Golden State right now, but, you know, they're not as close to us. Okay, but we had that golden chance. I think
Atlanta won.
Atlanta won. Yeah, Atlanta won.
Wow.
They had that golden chance to move up to the fourth seed, man.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I think most teams care about I think most teams care about what Dallas is doing and not doing rather than any of these Eastern Conference teams. That's what people care about. People,
And that's
I mean, some people do.
I totally agree. It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that worry about what Dallas is doing.
I was watching them standings. I said, hold on, we could be fourth.
Yeah, right. I mean, I'm watching them joints too, man.
Wait, man.
I'm watching them too,
man.
The Knicks scored 44 points in the paint. Orlando scored 34, so the Knicks won the battle in the paint. The Knicks only 6 second chance points. They weren't getting those same. They weren't getting the same offensive rebounds, and the Magic had 10. The Knicks had 15 fast break points to Orlando's 14, but just not enough. The Knicks shot terribly from the 3-point line, terribly from the field in that second half, and that's the story of the game right there, man. Just the Knicks shot the ball bad and were unable to
just
get
like the first game against
stops.
Orlando. 35% the first game, 37% tonight.
That's true. And they couldn't get stops tonight. So, I don't know where else to go.
And
I don't know where else to go with it, man. They just
Orlando does this.
Oh, go ahead, Tone.
Orlando does this every year, man. They start the season off horribly, well under 500, and they end up always making the AFC in the second half of the season, going on some crazy stretch. Like I think they like being under the radar and the underdog, and we gotta be that team.
Yeah, and listen, they have a chance. They have a chance. They're 11-18, but they have a chance. They're only a few games out of that 10th spot, and really they're only 2.5 games out of the 8th seed. So, they have a chance. So I wouldn't expect them to have a fire sale just yet. I guess when we get to that, when we get to the All-Star break, they'll probably see where they are and make an assessment and decide whether or not they want to try to sell some players off or try to make the playoffs. I don't know.
Sam, I know this is a Knicks chat, but Orlando, if I'm them, I stay put. They're dealing with a lot of injuries right now.
That's
Jonathan
true.
Isaac is the point guard, Cole Anthony, and Gordon didn't play. And they still got Markel
Fultz. They got a good team. They got a
really good team.
Fultz ain't coming back this year, though, right?
No, none of them are coming back. Isaac's not coming back this year. Fultz is not coming back this year. Gordon's going to be back, but they have a really young team. They play well.
Yeah, they didn't have Gordon tonight. My God.
Yeah, that's a really good team. So if I'm not selling.
You just sent Kev to the liquor cabinet when you said that, man. You just sent him to the liquor cabinet.
Yes. Oh, man.
It's a tough one, man. It's a depressing one. But, hey, we're going to rebound, man.
Give me that black label.
We'll be over 500.
Yeah, we're going to rebound. We're going to rebound. We get a couple of days to get back to New York. Tibbs is going to lighten their ass tomorrow. And then they get, some days to practice, get themselves fresh, and be ready to, take it to Minnesota. Although Minnesota is playing Indiana tough tonight and may even come away with that win. So they're not going to be a team that's looking to lay down to us. It's going to be a tough one. So it's the end of the fourth quarter. It's 121-121. They're going into overtime with Indiana.
Wow.
They got to win that. Hey, Sim.
Yeah.
Damn, hold up. Go to somebody else. I forgot what I was going to say.
We go to Prince. I ain't heard from Prince. I don't think we heard from Prince yet. Go ahead, Prince.
Hey, man, run up them likes, man. You know me, man. Run up them likes. I see a couple people trying to sneak out the back door early. Service is over, man. Service ain't over yet, man. Make sure you hit that collection plate, man. Hit that collection plate.
Right? Don't put that offer in there.
Yeah, pay your time before y'all sneak up out of here, man. But all seriousness, man, you know what I'm saying? A couple points I missed on. Definitely I'm taking Ross over Fournier. You know what I'm saying? I think we got that. You know, we grooming him right now. His name's Kevin Knox. I know y'all gonna laugh at that, but it's cool.
I ain't gonna laugh. I ain't gonna laugh.
You know, and on the flip side of that, I forget the other point, but moving on to next week, man. I definitely look forward to us, or Sunday's game, not next week, but Sunday's game. Look forward to us to bouncing back. I know we're gonna have a hell of a shoot around tomorrow.
Yeah.
Sim, but definitely gotta get back to, like you said, get hungry. And I don't know if it was like I said, I believe it was like Josh said. I think he was right, because it was a lot of times I didn't see that fight from us. We played lackadaisical, but I also believe that Tom Thibodeau could have saved us in that. Much like I said when I first came on, I thought that he should have, you know, like on nights like this, and you know, Sim, you done been there sometime too. And even when you are a short rotation coach, when your guys just ain't got it, it's like you over there just reaching, you just throwing stuff against the wall to see what sticks, you know. And I think tonight could have been one of those nights. Because again, the game was still close enough where, again, if you would have got Knox and, you know, some of those guys to claw you back into that game where you down 7 or down 6, maybe when you throw the first unit back in, like Divine that said, you know, you put that first unit back in and you let them rock out. Now they're fighting back, you know, a 7-point lead rather than, you know, we clawed back into 10 and then they shot that thing back up to 17 after a couple threes. And then I think also tonight, I think the defensive matchup that I think we worried about was the wrong guy. I think Terrence Ross probably was on their list, and I think he should have been number 1. Because again, if you really watch them as of late, he's the guy who really gets the buckets for them, and it's more like everybody else kind of plays off of him, or him and Gucci Mane, they have their little 2-man game that they do. So again, I think we just kind of dropped the bucket on this one. Definitely ain't nothing to set the house on fire or start going crazy about, but hopefully Tom will be a little bit less stubborn, and he can kind of open up with his rotations and, you know, kind of play with things a little bit more. But again, it's a loss that we had tonight. We got 7 more games. Hopefully we just pull out this next 7-game stretch where we can go 5-2, 6-1. If we can do something like that, I think we'll a lot of us will still be happy. But I think, prayerfully tonight just isn't contagious. Let's just hope it is.
And see, that was the key, because we got 7 games. You even it up at 500. You can go 5-2. You can go 4-3, and you're still above 500. Now you're 2 games below 500. You got to win 2 just to get back to 500, and then you got to try to, you know, go at least 3-2 over the next 5 to stay above 500, right? So you got to, you got to go 5-2 over the next 7 just to get to 500. Or 6-1 to be above 500. I'm not saying they can't do it. You know, it's just, you know, it makes it a little bit tougher. It would have made it easier. But hey, it is what it is. It's time to get back to it, man.
Hey, I was just gonna say, RJ was pissed off, man, and I like to see that. Yeah, he was having a good game, like we all said, and he probably like, man, what I gotta do to get back? You know what I mean? Get back in this game. You know, putting me in with just over 3 minutes left when it's, you know, more out of reach. And I love to see that from him. And we usually see bounce back games from RJ. Right.
So now, did he say something, or are you just saying from his body language?
Facial expression.
No. When they called that timeout,
he didn't say nothing. Upset.
But when they called that, they put him in, and then they called another timeout with like 2 minutes left.
I remember.
On that bench, you could see him. He was pissed.
You could see him. I could see it too, because I was thinking like, yo, he's heated. To me, he has every right to, man, be heated, because I just can't understand the thinking when he was playing a good game. You know, why you don't put him back in.
Hey, Sim, did you ever have to go through that with your players? They come up to you and say, why don't you put me back in?
Yeah, all the time.
How'd you deal with it?
I told him why.
Curse them out and tell them to go back on the bench.
No, I mean, they didn't ask. Well, I've had players ask me on the bench, and when they ask me on the bench, I don't put them back in.
Don't do that. Yeah,
I don't put them back in. Well, There's some players. It depends on. And it happens. I'm not even gonna lie. It depends on who you are, right?
It's situational.
If you are my primary point guard, and he's like, Coach, I'm ready. I'm probably like, okay, let's go, let's rock. You know what I'm saying? But if you're a guy
but Kevin Knox can't say that. Kevin Knox can't say that. He can't say that.
Ain't no way Kevin Knox come to me like, Coach, I'm ready. I'm like, boy, you better sit your ass down over there. I'll tell you when you're getting in the game. What the hell's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying?
But Kev, I don't think RJ is the type of player to say something. He's gonna say something on the court. I mean, with his game, he gonna come out and have a better game next time.
But now I think in the NBA, there's only certain players that's gonna be allowed to do that. You know, to say, hey, coach. And I don't think anybody on this team has that kind of cachet to be able to say, hey, coach, I'm ready to go on. You know, I'm ready. Only certain players going to be able to do that in the NBA. But yeah, I've had players that ask me or after the game say, hey, coach, how come I didn't get in? Or how come this, how come that? And I've encouraged them, to like, hey, if you have a question about something, come talk to me. Don't just keep it inside and be mad. And then now you're not practicing hard or doing this because you're mad. So I've encouraged them to come talk to me, and I just explain to them why.
Okay. All right.
And if I made a mistake, there's been times when I've made a mistake and said, I probably should have put you back in.
That happens.
You just gotta admit it, and that's how your players. Yep. You earn that trust with your players too. If you make a mistake, you just admit it to them, and then okay, coach, he made a mistake.
Will Tibbs never do that?
That's the best thing in the world when a coach tell you, I should have put you in today.
My bad, right?
Yep. My bad. It kills all the animosity. You know what I mean? Like, you can't even be mad no more because it's like, damn.
Yeah. Well, you just humble yourself. You humble yourself to a 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old kid, kids, stage, and they can respect it.
And then what you do, and what you have to do at that point is when that same situation comes around, because that same situation will come around, you look right at him and make real good eye contact and say, let's go. And he knows now, oh, yeah, I had that conversation and it worked. You know what I'm saying? And coaches trust me.
About him.
Exactly. That's how you got to do it. Now, with Tom Thibodeau, is Tom Thibodeau going to go talk to RJ? Is RJ even going to come to Tom Thibodeau with it? I doubt it.
Right.
I doubt it. But
I want to see if he get a press conference too, because you could usually see it in his press conference too. When he's tight.
Yeah, man. I'd have been tight if I was him.
I just like the fact that a lot of people out there saying that Elfrid Payton should have played. Elfrid Payton is finally starting to get some respect. I like that.
There you go.
Isn't that awesome, though?
Right. There you go.
Oh, man.
But anyway, man, fellas, I'm going to get up out of here. Get some rest. Since, Oh, I got somebody on the line? Look at that. See that? I'm so messed up. I'm so upset. I forgot. Caller, what's up? What's going on, man? My bad.
What up? I'm listening to you guys chat the whole time. Yeah. Man, I'm going to make it quick because I have to get out of here, bro. Listen, Thibodeau, this is what do you think about this, bro? Humor me on this. What do you think about the opposite happening with Thibodeau, what happened with old boy from Golden State? I see Thibodeau as the coach that changes the culture, breeds accountability and all of that, but he's not the guy to take us there. What do you think about Johnny Bryant in the future, in the next 3-4 years? Because I don't know. Sometimes I look at Johnny Bryant. I'm big on body language. I look at Johnny Bryant. Oh, I think that's his first name. I feel like he'd be looking at Thibodeau sometimes like, Thibodeau, you wilding right now. Like sometimes I look at him and I see him look at Thibodeau like, yo, bro, you bugging right now. Because listen, just like you said, if everybody's screaming for Elfrid Payton to play, something's going on the court. Because ain't nobody want to see Elf play. But the rotation, crazy. Josh is like arguing for, like he can't see that the rotations were terrible. And this, I'm not gonna say the rotations lost us this game, I'm just going to say the rotations didn't do us any justice. But Tibbs alone has lost his 2-3 games this season off his rotations. He's too stubborn, man. I just don't get it. But overall, because I know you tired, what do you think about that Johnny Bryan and Tom Thibodeau thing?
I guess we'll see what happens with Tom Thibodeau. If anything messes up with Tom Thibodeau, I think he probably is the next guy up. If it just goes sour somehow, some way, yeah, he's probably the next guy up.
He's gonna go sour. Yeah, I think his time is just gonna run up. Like Mike Jackson, I think they did him dirty. But some coaches, your time just kind of run up. Example, dude from the Raptors. He was doing Casey. He was doing amazing. He was doing amazing.
Yeah.
But sometimes your time runs up, and then what's his name? Nick Nurse comes in and finishes the job. Yeah, Kawhi Leonard helps too, obviously. But I think that's what's going to happen. Tom Thibodeau, he's going to change the culture. He's going to change the culture. He's going to do everything he got to do for us. Because look, and you already see me playing different ball. Today's loss, man. Oh, my God. I've been drinking De Leon, man. Shout out P. Diddy. I've been drinking De Leon. I'm upset. I'm upset, man. Like,
I feel you, man.
God.
I feel you, man. Damn. Hey, I appreciate the call, bro. Thank you for being patient, too.
You already know. Have a good night, man.
No doubt.
Sim, listen, I'm not saying that, if the rotations couldn't have helped us. It could have helped us. But to me, overall, the team play, we just were lackadaisical on defense, rotations coming over. Like, to me, I just felt like the energy wasn't there. So no matter what Tibbs would have did with that rotation, even if RJ and Peyton would have been in the game, I just didn't like our chances tonight because of how we played, our energy. That's what I'm talking about. And that's the reason why. And that's the reason why in practice you want to go hard on them because they play like crap tonight.
We only gave up 4 more points than normal. We only gave up a 106. It wasn't the issue of defense. Manuel Quickly and Derrick Rose only scored 7 assists, 60. And I think we were so selfish. What Sim said, 16 assists. This was the most selfish game I ever seen the Knicks play. They wasn't passing that ball for nothing, just jacking up threes. That ain't our game. That's why Alpha Payton would have been in there. The defense would have been better. Because Alpha Payton and Barry would have been in there. The defense would have been way much better. They would have kept us in contention at least. But they was just jacking up shots. They wasn't passing the ball. 16 assists, and that's why I said that's why we lost that game. They was terrible tonight, man. Our second unit, they was trash.
Yeah, but Devon, Noel can't let Michael Carter come in and just oof it off.
Hey, guys, 106. Listen. 106. We gave up 106 points.
I'm messing with you. I'm agreeing with you.
I mean, but the thing is,
that's
he blew past whoever was guarding him.
Yes, he sure
like
did.
It wasn't even there. So,
yes.
And by the way, Indiana looks like Indiana's going to beat Minnesota 132-128 in overtime. So it's 6.9 seconds left. But anyway, fellas, I appreciate it, man. I'm out of here. We're gonna do the shoot around tomorrow. Hopefully I can sleep this off and come back. We all come
Stephanie's
back in better
be
spirits
pissed
tomorrow. Yeah, she is. That's why she didn't get on now. She's like, man, forget all that. I don't blame her.
Yeah, we all had that feeling, man.
Everybody did. I appreciate you all, man. Make sure you check us out tomorrow for the shoot around. 12:30. I'll be on the shoot around tomorrow, so make sure you check it out. And we'll be able to reflect with a sharper, clearer mind, and we'll talk about some things happening in the NBA and all kinds of stuff. All right, so make sure you check us out for the shoot around tomorrow, 12:30. Spread love, ladies and gentlemen. Be easy. We out of here. Terrence Ross. Just remember that. Everybody. Just say Terrence Ross, Terrence Ross, Terrence Ross. Keep saying it. You believe it, you can achieve it. You know what I'm saying? The law of attraction, ladies and gentlemen. The law of attraction. Y'all see who Julius Randle is pointing at in this picture right here, ladies and gentlemen? Go get him. Peace.